The power of humor to bring people together cannot be underestimated. A well-timed joke or a clever quib can ease the tension in a room, break down barriers between people, and create bonds that might not have been possible otherwise. For creators, this ability to bond people together is essential. In a world that often feels disconnected and divided, humor can serve as a much-needed bridge between individuals and communities. But not all humor is created equal. Crude humor, in particular, can be a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it can be an effective way to connect with an audience, make them feel seen and understood. On the other hand, it can also be a source of offense and push people away rather than bring them closer. That's why it's so important for creators to understand the techniques behind risqué jokes. By approaching this type of comedy with skill and sensitivity, you can tap into a power that bonds people together and makes the world a little bit brighter. Whether it's through a stand-up routine, a sitcom, or a viral meme, the ability to make people laugh is a precious gift, and one that creators should take advantage of at every opportunity. To explore the art of crude humor, this video shall delve into two specific examples: Kaguya-sama, Love is War, and the HBO Max series Velma. Both shows attempt to utilize dick jokes as a means of generating laughter, but one does so far more successfully than the other. So, with that in mind, let's explore how to tell crude jokes that connect. Velma faced criticisms for its repeated use of shock humor about Fred's small penis size. One need only look at the many examples of people going out of their way to react poorly to see it in action. The reason, however, goes beyond what they might assume, particularly with their feelings of discomfort because of how old the characters are meant to be. This can be a factor, but it shouldn't be the main takeaway. The top reason is because shock humor, as the focus of comedy, has limits in terms of audience engagement. Shock humor works best as a spice, not the entire dish. Additionally, overuse of this type of humor weakens its subtext, which is what the jokester is trying to communicate without explicitly stating. In the case of Velma, the small penis joke lacks subtext. It hinges on body shaming, a practice that none of the characters who partake in the joke are portrayed negatively for. Fred is portrayed in a negative manner throughout the series, so it fails to push back against the narrative that people like this deserve mockery, and, instead, comes across as supporting this type of behavior. Thus, it decreases the potential audience for this even more and runs the greater risk of offending. Beyond that, given the compilation of the cast, and how Fred remains the only member of the gang who remains white, it likewise adds a reason to view these jokes as just cruel and spiteful. This combination is just not fertile for laughter. Love is War's Weiner joke, meanwhile, executes this far better. The joke starts with a simple scene with Kaguya chatting with her friend Chika Fujiwara. During this, Kaguya's past as an ice cream who repelled others is brought up. This establishes Kaguya as a hybrid of the crank and the rail comedy archetypes, a character who is quick to anger, insult others, and expects to be treated like royalty. Because of this past, Chika desires to see Kaguya lose control laughing. Kaguya insists that this will never happen, but Chika says that she thinks her dog's wiener trick might do it, at which point Kaguya spit takes. The crude humor serves as a catalyst with the shock statement, while Kaguya's exaggerated reaction and how much it contrasts with her established self creates the comedy gold. This alone makes the joke funnier than what Velma did, but Kaguya-sama goes many steps further. After a moment of Kaguya failing to cover up how funny she finds hearing Chika say that, Chika notices how effective the word wiener is on Kaguya, which leads to her saying it over and over again, despite Kaguya begging for her to stop. This is funny because Kaguya is comfortable otherwise, so it's fine to afflict her. It's temporary discomfort at most, nothing she can't live with. This, again, contrasts the Velma example. While both characters are portrayed as wealthy, the Fred has a small dick joke would mess with his confidence beyond that moment. It's far more damaging, which makes it less funny. Anyway, the joke evolves further when Kaguya's crush, Shirogane, shows up. Kaguya tries to regain composure and keep Chika from saying that again, which Chika agrees to. However, Chika never agreed to anything to keep Shirogane from saying it. This escalation adds to the comedic value of the situation, as Chika asks questions meant to prompt Shirogane to say wiener, and Kaguya finds ways to stop him again and again. Finally, the joke culminates in a brilliant payoff when Chika, in a moment of frustration, screams out that she just wanted Shirogane to give her a wiener, and how every single time she got close to getting him to let it out, Kaguya kept getting in his way. Shirogane proceeds to freak out due to him not understanding the context, and Kaguya bursts into laughter. This is the final piece of the puzzle that ties the joke together and creates a hilarious skit. Then, just as a bonus, while Kaguya is on the floor humiliated and defeated after Shirogane ran calling them pervs, Chika says wiener again, sending her into overdrive. Kaguya proceeds to say things like how she can only endure so many wieners. Chika says things like how Kaguya shouldn't pretend to be so innocent since she's sure she's let a wiener or two slip between her lips before. All of this happens while their friend outside overhears this, so the wordplay humor serves one last hurrah before the skit ends. While I'm certain you can piece together for yourself what made the crude humor in Velma and Kaguya different, let's review and summarize the key points. 1. Shock humor is an effective tool to make readers laugh and break free from societal norms. It can range from mild to extreme depending on the desired effect. 2. Shock should be used in moderation and as a garnish, not the main dish. Overloading a work with shock can alienate the audience and limit its appeal to only a specific demographic. 3. A good rule of thumb is to use shock in service of good subtext. If it's gracious, it's probably too much. 4. Shock works best when paired with good subtext. 5. Sophisticated writings communicates more than just the literal words on the page. It conveys a subtext that's clear to any reasonable intelligent reader. And 6. In humor, comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. The target of satire must deserve ridicule, and the best targets are usually those in positions of power or authority. Keep these tips in mind and you can write crude humor which lands. Just don't forget that the line between offensive and hilarious is a fine one. Still, with the right approach, anything can be funny. Now that I've shared this, I have a challenge for you. Find some examples of crude humor you've seen in media, and figure out why they are successful or unsuccessful. I'd be grateful if you could share them here in the comments, as it will help provide other people examples to judge from. Also, if you need help analyzing anything, feel free to ask to help. I'll lend my assistance. Finally, if this video has provided you any value, please press the like button, as it'll tell me you enjoyed content like this. That, in turn, helps me better understand how I should shape my content for you.